Okay, so this week's lesson focused on scarcity versus abundance, and it's a very interesting dichotomy to study, especially for me personally. So my family, we're from Hawaii, which we know is a place, resource speaking of relative abundance. There's so many different fruits that come in seasons throughout the year. There's not a frigid winter that strips a lot of the plants of their natural resources. Like, everything's pretty good. And then we moved to Arizona, and we are in the desert part of Arizona, which means that there's very little abundance. I don't think that there's any part of the environment there that I eat on a regular basis. There's no mango trees, there's no coconut, and for me, scarcity just means there's barely even water, So in general, I think it's hard to label certain resources scarce, but one that I think should be a human right is having access to water, clean water. And I think it's really hard because there's certain regimes that restrict that human right, by building dams, contaminating water, all these different, tactics used to gain power over people. And just seeing all of that, it does discourage me quite a bit. And so I think because of that, I definitely lean towards the Malthusians, just because it's hard for me to be optimistic when I know that there are people starving and living in drought. So I think that, there's definitely, at the same time though, there's so much abundance to see in the world. There's so many beautiful things. But I think it's important, to create a balance for that. We need to realize the cost of our living. For those who do live in abundance, they should be taught environmental responsibility, as well as just becoming informed of the decisions that they make and its different effects. I think, for example, one thing we could do is the perpetuation of peace education, especially on limited resources such as this class, because it raises awareness for these things and it provides meaningful academic sources that help credit the movements. Just credit the movement, So those are basically all of my thoughts. Just realized this has to be 3 minutes long, so I'll just wait 5 more seconds. But yeah.